Okay. So the final thing to introduce conditionals that makes them tricky is that there are a lot of statements in English that really are conditional statements, that really are if-then statements that aren't written as if-then statements. Let me give you guys a few examples. When my car needs an oil change, the light will come on. Interest rates go down when the economy tanks. Neither of these uses the if-then form, right? But if you think about it, if you had to translate this for purposes of logic, if you saw this in an argument, both of these are if-then statements. Think just a second how you might translate them. How would you put these in if-then form? When my car needs an oil change, the light will come on. Well, if my car needs an oil change, the light will come on. Interest rates go down when the economy tanks. If the economy tanks, interest rates will go down. There's no mechanical, mathematical way of doing these. You just kind of have to think about what the statement means and then think about how you could rephrase it using ifs and thens. Here are two more. These are a little trickier because you have to build in a not, but it's the same basic idea. Unless Zeke starts studying, he will fail. The Yankees will win the AL Eastern Division unless the Red Sox do. So with these, you'd have to use a not, but how could you rephrase this into an if-then statement if you built a not into at least one part? Well, unless Zeke starts studying, he will fail. If Zeke doesn't start studying, he will fail. If not B, then A. The Yankees will win the AL Eastern Division unless the Red Sox do. If the Red Sox don't win the AL Eastern Division, the Yankees will. One final form, you might see a statement that actually uses an if, but you're going to have to reorder things a little bit, right? Ed will be sad if the Yankees win the AL Eastern Division. There will be frost on the grass if the temperature at night is below freezing. So again, you just have to think about how would you rephrase these. I'm not even going to write them out. Rephrase them, reorder them so the if goes first and then the then. If blank, then blank. Well, what's this first one saying? Basically, if the Yankees win, Ed will be sad. The way it's written, Ed will be sad is first, but if we had to rewrite it in this if blank, then blank form, then we would reorder it. If they win, he'll be sad. There will be frost on the grass if the temperature at night is below freezing. Again, we want to put this in this if blank, then blank form. If we wanted to do that, well, if the temperature at night is below freezing, there will be frost on the grass. So we might have to reorder it. There's really just no way around this besides honestly just think, how would I rephrase this statement to go into this if blank, then blank form? So, for a lot of statements in logic, especially if you're going from ordinary English to logic, with if-then statements especially, you're going to have to think about translating what the statement is saying if you put it in logical form. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And again, a lot of this is tricky with conditionals, but if you practice, and we will practice, I think it will get easier.